Good evening. My name is Andy GalliottThornton, and I run the film and media courses at Queen Alexandra College. And I'm here this evening to discuss briefly two of the amazing courses we have on offer there at the college. Okay, so firstly, AS level film and A level film. Why study film? Film is an amazing medium. It's artistic, it's thought-provoking. It says lots and lots of things about who we are as a people. So some of the films that we study when you come to us in year one are films like Danny Boyle's Trainspotting. Now, Danny Boyle, a cult director, Shallow Grave, Trainspotting. He did the Olympic opening ceremonies. Absolutely outstanding. Oscar winning with Slumdog Millionaire. And we look at his style and we look at the messages that he creates in those films. And we then think about what is it saying to us and how is it saying to us? So Trainspotting is set in 1990s Edinburgh, and it's set around a group of young men who are on the fringes of society. And it's really a comment about how people are cast aside and how poverty affects different sectors of our society, particularly in the north of Britain, the north of England, and in Scotland. Similarly, we look at this marvellous film called This Is England, which is all about identity and all about nationalism, which is very pertinent at the minute. And we talk about the upbringing of a young boy and how he's struggling to settle in and find his niche. And it's a wonderful, wonderful film by Shane Meadows, incredibly thought-provoking, and one that our students really enjoy and really like. So those are two of the earlier films that we study. We also look at classical Hollywood and new Hollywood. So we look at films by Alfred Hitchcock, and we look at one of my favorite films ever. If you could list your favorite film, what would it be? But one of my favorite films is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, directed by Milos Forman. And it won 8 Oscars in 1975, and it was an absolutely outstanding movie. And we look at the comparisons between the two styles of director. Milos Forman is a new director coming across from the Czechoslovakia, the former Czech Republic, and bringing a European style of film to Hollywood. And then we look at Hitchcock and his work, and he created Vertigo in 1958, and he'd been creating films since the mid 1920s. So he already had decades and decades of experience behind him, and hundreds of films behind him. And Hitchcock was known as this incredible auteur, this incredible creator of suspense, and someone who was willing to experiment with film work, artistic work, push boundaries. So at the time when Vertigo was released, for instance, in 1958, it wasn't very well critically received. However, when people started watching it again 25 years later, it soon became apparent how amazing it was, and people were saying, oh, this is just so much ahead of its time. Wow, what a forward thinker. So we investigate the manner in which films are created. We investigate the means in which they're explored and how they're explored. And we do that in a manner that's accessible to everybody. We also do practical coursework, where my group currently are making short films as part of their coursework, which is 30% of the exam. And that 30% consists of a 3 to 4 minute short film. Through October and November, the group did a film a week each. I mean, it's astonishing, the creativity, because when people are tasked with making a film, at first it's such a huge thing. Oh my goodness, I've got to make a film. But after that, once the creativity is unleashed, no stopping them. What an amazing group I've got. And we get some fantastically creative students coming through our course. Media looks more broadly across the different forms of media. So media looks at online, media looks at music videos, media looks at film marketing, media looks at all these different sorts of forms of media, how people have created meaning in newspapers. So certain newspapers say certain things. Why? Because they've got a political bias and a message that's sent out. Because the ownership of the newspaper says that this has to go out. So this is the message that we see. We look at for instance, the treatment of women in the media through the 1950s in adverts, the typical housewife advert, and how we look upon that now as something quite offensive, really, through to the 80s, the 70s and 80s. So we had in the late 70s the first female star of Aliens, and she was Ripley in the spaceship at the end of Alien. This is Ripley signing off, and she's fought off all the aliens, and she's the last one. Her and her cat are the last one left alive. And this is the first time that a female had starred in a movie as the star and the hero. They were always something else. They were always the sidekick, or the reason why the male struggled or didn't succeed. So we look at the influence of women as we go through the 90s and the noughties. We think about things like, the hoo-ha around the current Doctor Who. When it was announced, the whole issue there behind that, oh my goodness, a woman doing a Doctor, this is outrageous. And we think about issues when we had the first female commentator on Match of the Day about 10 years ago, and it was, this is outrageous, a woman commentating on. So we investigate all these issues, and we look at how these are being readdressed in the media. And again, there's a practical aspect to the media course. There's coursework, and we get a choice of creating either a magazine. We get a choice either to create a DVD front cover, back cover, full whack, and we get a choice to create either a music video or the opening of a TV series. And the students work really well on that. And again, it's a brilliant opportunity to unleash your creativity. So a lot of our students go on to university to study creative subjects, but subjects like film and media are excellent in transferable skills way. They teach a lot about law, they teach a lot about marketing, and some of our students have gone on to do law and marketing and business and English. And, we offer further business courses at Queen Alexandra as well. So there's a lot of scope for progression from these sorts of subjects. Incredibly creative. The creative industries in Britain is one of the most successful industries in Britain, bringing in tens of billions a year. So it's not an area to be sniffed at. It is really, really productive. A lot of the jobs that are advertised now in the digital world didn't exist even 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And a lot of the jobs that you would be applying for when you go into employment and looking for employment won't exist now. So it's an ever-changing, evolving situation, and being right there at the time on the cusp of learning, on the edge of interest, it really is. It really gives you the opportunity to get a fantastic employment and career ahead of it. So that's a brief summation of the film and media courses. It's a brief summation as well of where you can go and what you can do with it. So how do you apply and what do you need to apply? Well, we ask for a range of decent GCSEs, okay? So we look at grade 5 ideally, okay? So grade 5 English and maths and a range of others. But most importantly for us, we want a passion and a commitment for whichever subjects you do choose. So I say to all my students, and I particularly say to the new students, we want you to do this course and we want you to be successful. All we ask from you is your passion, your enthusiasm, and your commitment to the course. If you do want to apply for such courses, then we have live chat on this evening. So you can log on to the website if you haven't done so already. and you can live chat to some of our operators. Or you can, if you can't manage this evening, then obviously there's a route through on the website which tells you how to apply, and all that information is sent through, and with a quite quick turnaround, someone will be in touch to discuss your preferences and your wishes. I hope that's been useful, and if there are any questions, I'll stay for a moment just to see if there's any questions to answer. I hope I've covered lots and lots of things there. But thank you for watching, and we look forward to welcoming you at Queen Alexandra College in September. Okay, thank you. There's a great question just coming through about what sort of subjects are on offer that go alongside film and media. So thank you for that. So a lot of students study film and media, and they study alongside all sorts of subjects. So typically English, typically sociology or history, so psychology. So there's a range of options and a range of mix and match that you can do when you come to us. What we try and do is we advise you on the best possible combination that suits you, and the ones that will work well together and be a better package for you for when you leave and you progress, whether you progress on to level 4 or level 5 courses within our college, or whether you progress on to university. So that's a good question. And we also have another question coming through, which is what is your favourite film? Well, what is your favourite film? That's one to think about this evening when you're sitting down and watching the telly. What is your favourite film and why? I think it's really, really important that we talk about film, and we talk about film as an art form and a mode of expression, and we really look to discuss and explore our creativity on the course here at Queen Alexandra. It's a good question. If you have any further questions, please feel free to pass them through to live chat, or please feel free to make contact with the college, and myself or one of the rest of the team will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks very much.